The Vizzion Concept, which previews a sleek electric crossover, and this is for America, folks. Now, for more than a decade, Volkswagen vehicles have been known worldwide for a variety of timeless design built from a single common chassis. Now, the MQB platform that forms the basic pieces of the Golf compact hatchback also underpins the 7-seat Volkswagen Atlas and almost every other Volkswagen in between. At the Los Angeles Auto Show this week, Volkswagen revealed another example of how it will take the same approach with electric vehicles with the ID Space Vizzion, a sleek concept crossover that previews a production electric vehicle coming to America. Almost exactly as long as the Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport, but about 10 inches lower at the roofline. Now the ID Vizzion evolves the look while adding a few new features. The new light-up VW logo. It sits proudly at the tip of the hood, flanked by a slim white LED stripes. All the lights on the car switch on when the driver approaches. The headlights can be animated to look as if they're opening and closing like eyes. Overall, the ID Space Vizzion has been designed to maximize its aerodynamics. Several new surfaces keep it moving smoothly, such as a horizontal slot between the headlights and an integrated spoiler type panel above the tailgate. The 22-inch wheels have special designs to minimize airflow distribution or disruption. The doors have no handles. Instead, touch-sensitive haptic pads illuminate as soon as the car driver approaches. The result, a 24 coefficient of drag, making it sleeker than the most production vehicles. Now inside, the ID Space Vizzion seats 4 in a limousine-like comfort with a sizable center console. Now the production version will likely offer a more traditional back seat. Most of the driving information is shown on a head-up display rather than a traditional instrument panel. And next to the driver sits a 15.6-inch touchscreen. All seating surfaces and some trim use a new material called apple skin, which uses the byproduct of apple juice making to create a fabric that feels like leather without any animal content. That is spectacular, and if you're vegan, you're going to love that option. Now behind the seat, the Concept has a 20.7 cubic feet luggage compartment, like many SUVs, with 2 electric skateboards shown. Let's take a look and see if we can find that right quick. This is the back seat right here. It's definitely nice. Spacious. The front is definitely nice and spacious too. This is the battery packs. It's 2 battery packs, kicking out 335 horsepower with these 2 motors. Now some cars won't have 2 motors, some will only have 1, which won't be as much horsepower. I believe it's going to be like 235 horsepower or something like that, with only 1 motor, not having that front motor. This is the space. This is the trunk space, as you see here. It also has the buttons to raise it and close it. The VW emblem. And that space was 20.7 cubic feet of luggage. And these right here is what you see is the skateboard stowed underneath the storage floor that can be used to get you to the destination a car can't take. So You hop on that and get to where you're going, like to the beach at Venice, California. Now, while the ID Space Vizzion looks laid back, it can hustle when needed. Now, power comes from a 275 horsepower electric motor driving the rear wheel, so it's 275 horsepower, and an 82 kilowatt battery. Now, there's an additional 101 horsepower motor in the front axle that provides all-wheel drive capabilities, and that is 335 horsepower. Now, the 4Motion version of the ID Space Vizzion can hit 60 in 5 seconds, with a projection range of 300 miles. Let's see if we can go forward and take a look at the motor and the battery pack and all that. Now, underneath the design and technology, the ID Space Vizzion relies on the same set of basic components as the ID Concept, known as a Modular Electric Toolkit, or MEB in the German acronym. Volkswagen expects the chassis to underpin more than 20 million vehicles worldwide by 2029. This includes the up-and-coming production of the ID Cross concept and the production version of the ID Buzz concept, revival of the Volkswagen Bus. After those two arrive, Americans may get a chance to sample a more spacious version of the electric future. Now this is a 7DV concept based on the electric vehicle platform that we see here. Now, the large wagon, of course, like we said earlier, 300 miles, 5 seconds up to 60, which is not too impressive when you look at the Teslas that are getting like 2.7 seconds, but that's the loaded performance edition. Now, VW is planning some 27 electric vehicles on this architecture, which will start to roll out in 2020. But the one that we see is coming in 2022. Now, this was shown in the Los Angeles Auto Show. I believe that was last year. And the MEB architecture itself is not a concept. It's going to be truly the foundation of the 27 Volkswagen models. They're planning on selling 3 million EVs a year, and that's more than what they have ever sold. Now, the first of these will launch in 2020. All of these will have a battery pack, and a battery pack, again, like I showed earlier, it's going to be mounted low into the floor in the center of the vehicle. That will make it low center of gravity, which will make it handle very, very well. Now, Space Vizzion features a long wheelbase with short overhangs, as you can see, and that's good. Volkswagen never really had short overhangs in the past. In the past, it's always been, the long overhangs. But now, since they don't have a combustion motor, the overhangs are short. Hopefully that will add to this handling and performance. Roughly the same size as the Volvo V90, but with a slightly taller roofline. This concept is more of a wagon than a crossover, making it a tough sell, especially in the US. I'm sure they'll come out with some kind of game plan to move these vehicles. Now the 22-inch wheels that we see here in the touch sensitive areas will not make production. But they're saying that the augmented head-up display that replaces the traditional gauge cluster, they intend that to make production. The Space Vizzion 15.6-inch center screen, which we saw earlier, let's go back to that. 15.6 center-inch screen is gonna hopefully likely make production as well. Now, the vegan synthetic apple skin and all that will hopefully lead to production as well. And it should, because people who want electric vehicles, are the people. More than likely it should be like a, more vegan face, because it's saving the environment. Guys, this is AO Automotive Reviews, and this is the Vizzion Concept.
If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more interesting videos.